This episode of the MG Trophy Championship is sponsored by MG Nottingham. Hi everyone, welcome along to Donington Park for our coverage of round 8 of the 2018 MG Trophy Championship. The cars and drivers are prepped in the paddock, but before racing, Barry went to talk to Mark Campbell from MG Nottingham.
Mark, great to see you here at Donington Park for the latest round of the MG Trophy Championship. Now, title sponsor for this event, which we're very grateful for. Just tell me, how did you become involved in it?
Well, we're the local MG dealer in Nottingham, and we initially were sponsoring Mike Williams in a Rover Metro, and he introduced us to Pete, the organiser here at the MG Car Club, and suggested we might like to get involved that way.
So great to have you involved. Just tell us a little bit about the business.
Well, MG Nottingham is a new car dealership. We provide service and warranty work as well. And it's basically selling new cars, new MG cars. We've got 3 in the lineup at the minute: a small city car called MG3, a compact SUV, which is the one behind me, which is the ZS, and a slightly larger SUV called the GS.
So quite a lot of interest on this stand here already, and obviously I could drive to your premises, but for anyone that wants a little bit more information to start off with, how would they get in touch?
Well, the obvious way is through our website, which is www.mgnottingham.co.uk, or call us on 0115 987 7474, or just pop in and see us sometime. We have obviously new cars for sale, but we also have a small collection of heritage cars. At least 2 of them are MGs, but we have some Fords and so on as well for people to come and have a look at, and there's no charge to get in and come and look at those cars.
Richard, been a while since we caught up with you. Now, there's been one race already this weekend, and a fantastic result. 4th in class and in the top 10.
Yeah, really happy. We run a new engine in that my dad's worked really hard to build, and it was obviously the test this weekend, and we started 13th because we were taking it very easy in quali. A couple of retirements ahead of me, so we jumped a couple of places, but yeah, we worked our way up to 4th, so that's really good.
Now, car looking as immaculate as ever, and a new sponsor on board. Just tell us about them.
Yeah, so Harris Construction, based in the East Anglia area, take on all sorts of construction type work. They've joined us and offered to help us out for the rest of the season, which is fantastic. So yeah, great support from them.
Tom, great to see you back on the grid here. Now, if I remember rightly, you were with us a few years ago, went to the Clios and come back again. So what's encouraged you back?
Yeah, we did 2013, had a really good season there, and then we tried to see what we could do after that, and went and did Clios for a few seasons. And then after that, we just really missed how fun the MG Trophy was, and we really wanted to just get back to some really fun racing, not take it as serious as we were before, and just get back to enjoying racing and having a good time. And that's what we get with the MG Trophy. Remember that from 2013, and it's just as good now as it was back then.
Got you for the remainder of the season?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll be here, and then hopefully next year and get a bit more good luck and keep the momentum going and see what we can do.
Ultimate aim?
I'd like to win the championship. When we did it in 2013, we came 2nd in class. So it's always nice to come back and try and do one better. So we've had a bit of bad luck the 2 seasons we've been back now, but that's motivation, isn't it? So hopefully next year, a bit more luck, keep progressing and try and win the championship.
Now, we haven't seen you for some time. Last time out, Brands Hatch, when we saw you, big accidents. So tell us about what's happened since.
Yeah, big accident at Brands Hatch, my own fault. Went off in the wet, into the wall, wrote the car off basically. So I was working away for a month after that, so I knew I wasn't going to be out straight away. My son Ryan, my mate Simon and James, they got this shell prepared for me when I got back. It was a bit of a push for Silverstone, to be fair. I didn't think it was going to be ready. So I gave that one a sit out and watched Ryan have some success. And then we finished it off and got it here for the local one. So yeah, fresh car, and the first race yesterday with it. So
clearly hasn't put you off. It's obviously a racing family, but mindset-wise, do you just erase that from your memory?
Yeah, never even, from the first moment I went back out in the car, never gave it a thought. It's gone, completely gone out of my head. Maybe when next time we get back to Brands Hatch it might be there, but no, round here, not one bit of thought about it, nothing.
Tyler, we've been following your progress. It was only a few months ago that you and I met, yet we seem to see you more and more on the podium, so it's going pretty well so far.
Yeah, it's been quite a good season. Trying to keep it consistent. Obviously after Brands we thought the season was over, but we've managed to get some good results and just hope we can keep it going for the end of the season.
We covered the Brands incident in the last programme and that was pretty scary. For me, I would probably give up racing, but you've just sort of reset your mind and got straight back into it.
Yeah, you've got it. I'm quite young still, so I've not got a lot of fear, but you just got to get back into it and get back at it. So.
Now, I'm going to cast your mind back to Silverstone. Now, we're normally used to seeing you on the podium. What happened there?
Oh yeah, I had catastrophic brake failure. The two problems, one was a really long pedal and I'd pumped twice and still no brakes. We fixed that, went out and raced one and then realised we'd actually had two problems. I was losing all vacuum in the vacuum chamber, so I had no servo assist. So it was like someone had put a brick under the brake pedal. I ended up collecting Matt Turnbull, so it kind of ruined his race. I felt bad about that.
Now, normally with that sort of incident, especially when we got onboards, we normally have to use the bleep machine. But with you, totally different. You just take it so easy.
A little bit into that, folks.
Well, I'm here to have fun. You know, we're all paying to do this. So if you can't, even come off and have a bit of a chuckle about it, then maybe you're in the wrong sport. I'm here for the crack, so I'll have a laugh all the way, be it good or bad.
Round 8 of the MG Trophy Championship about to get underway. Graham Ross on pole position from Jason Burgess. Will Payne on row 2 with Doug Cole. We join Joseph Dalgarno, who was second in the first race for the 160 class. Green flag from the back of the field. Try and fill you in on the results of round 7 as the race gets underway. But as you can see, no time to tell you too much more. Lights are already out. Jason Burgess in black and orange gets away well. Paul Lucci is on the grass and clatters his way through on the inside line, trying to go past Will Payne in the number 7. Will with the orange sunstrip in the 190 class. Doug Cole is in third position. They round Redgate. There surely will be 1 or 2 cars flying off. You normally do with fields of this magnitude and speed, but it looks like they've all behaved themselves superbly. That's the driving standards of the MG Nottingham MG Trophy here at Donington, entertaining the crowds royally this weekend. On board with Ollie Hood down towards the old hairpin for the first time. A quick reminder, if you've not seen MG racing before, orange sun strips across the screens indicate the 190 brake horsepower class, the 170s with the yellow strips, and then the white strip, the standard class, 160 brake horsepower. You can only win the overall championship from the 170s or the 190s. So it's Graham Ross out front at the moment. He leads the class championship coming into this meeting and picked up another win in the first race of the meeting here from Jason Burgess and Doug Cole. In Class B, it was Paul Lucci taking the win from Matt Turnbull, Jack Roberts. Tyler Ballard winning Class C from Joseph Dalgarno and John Gill in third place. So sort out there in 79, Adam Jackson coming under pressure from Ollie Hood in the 63. Along the straight they go at the end of the opening lap, and as you can see, Robin Walker taking a wide line. The 190 just trying to pick off a few of the 170 cars. If you wind up after qualifying a little bit down in the mix, you have work to do at the moment. Paul Lucci there in black and yellow is running in second place in the 170 class. Lucci the outright championship leader, as well as, of course, being the 170 class leader. Superb sight these cars make, coming down through the crane of curves, out of the old hairpin, a long Starkey straight. Samuel Johnston there in the 74 car running well, and here's Adam Jackson again looking back at Ollie Hood in the 63. Ollie top 10 yesterday, 16th position overall, 10th in class, and Adam Jackson sadly retiring on lap 7 of the race, but looking a little bit more racy in this one as they clatter through. Good to see Richard Marsh back with us as well, the man from Farringdon. Has had 3 top 10s coming into this race. He was 8th position in class last time out, and there in the 55 is Tom Butler, another of the drivers that Barry spoke to, up ahead at the minute of Matt Turnbull. Turnbull having, as we said, second position in Class A in the opening race of the weekend. And Tom Butler having a look here at Ryan Firth. Ryan joint third in the overall championship, second in the 170 standings. David Heasman there in car number 21. He runs third in the 160 class standings. As you mentioned, Tyler Ballard in fourth place took the win in the opening race of the weekend, so he's strengthening his position in the standings. We've got a fine race on here between Sam Kirkpatrick out front, Paul Luty in second place at the moment. Paul dropped back from the 190s a couple of seasons ago to enjoy the mass strengths of the 170s. He looks across to Kirkpatrick, who had that write-off, remember, at Silverstone early in his career. Luty knows his way around Donington, but goes wide, gets a tank slapper on, he's into the gravel. I thought that was going to go over, but it didn't. But he is got to be well and truly beached from there. A rare moment. I said that last time. Paul Luty retiring from a race. How can you say it's rare if it happens 2 programmes on the bounce? Sorry, Paul. Shouldn't say that. And we haven't got the onboard footage from that yet. And whether we do need the bleep machine is another matter. Anyway, Paul, that is not good to see. The championship leader out of the race. It means that Sam Kirkpatrick is the class leader now. 46 there running well is Ryan Firth, and then the 55 machine of Tom Butler. That's the battle on for second place. Butler looks down the inside line. Firth's there, they make contact, but Firth manages to keep it pointing in the right direction. Butler, I think, rightly took his toe out of that one so as not to continue turning him around. It was just the lightest of touch. They get away with that. You could probably call that touring car style racing. That was very close, but they reacted exceptionally well to that. Down behind them is the 64 car of Matt Turnbull, very much in the mix as well. Frenetic start as Ollie Hood is passed by Andy Spencer. Spencer in the 75 car, Class A man, goes past, and there is Paul Luty's car, sadly stricken. This is a busy battle for third position in the 170 class, and in the mix as well, Robin Walker, the orange sunscreen. Ryan Firth goes wide. Walker uses the extra horsepower there to cross the line in front of them, and they still fight it out for third place. Just in front of this group is Tom Butler in second place in class at the moment. Matt Turnbull to the outside. We've got the 31 car of Jack Roberts coming into the mix as well. So great racing from MG Trophy in all of the classes at the moment. Tyler Ballard is leading the 160s. Graham Ross still leading the 190s at the head of the field. Firth looks to the inside line here. Matt Turnbull into the old hairpin. Needs to watch out for Jack Roberts behind him. Roberts had a very good exit there of the old hairpin. Tees up the inside line into Schwantz corner. Quick flick and have a look to see how the front runners are doing. Number 16, Jason Burgess, double winner, of course, at the opening round of the year. Missed Silverstone due to family commitments. Second in race number 1 of the weekend here. We ride on board with him. Can use that meeting as his drop scores, but he's got to be mindful not to get any non-finishes over the course of the season. Graham Ross, though, having a very, very good year. 2 seconds in the opening meeting, a third and a first next up, and then he's had a winning streak ever since then, so momentum very definitely with him. Gianni Piccioni there, car number 5. Bouncy moment for Richard Marsh over the curbs, and that throws the car to the outside. That just shows if you have a tiny little error, it can punish you. Could have been worse. This is the scrap for second place in 160. Joe Delgado looking at championship leader John Booth. Tees up the inside line. The blue car is the 93. That's Joseph, the man from Hampshire. And the 50 car, the Chesterfield racer, John Booth, is passed. And he's still the championship leader, though, John Booth. Might not be by the end of the day. We'll have to tot all the points up again in the 160 class. 3 races for the price of 1. Jack Roberts looks down the inside line very neatly there on Matt Turnbull, going down into the old hairpin. It looks like he's got a good exit as well. Plenty of momentum up into Schwantz. Richard Marsh trying to recover from his bouncy moment, now dicing with Gianni Piccioni. These boys, I think, 6th position in class they are fighting for. Adam Jackson in the 79 car ahead of this quartet coming down into the Roberts chicane. Piccioni, the second of the cars, Richard Marsh and then Samuel Johnston in 24, all racing hard, and now Johnston pulls out of the slipstream. He's going to try and see if he can get enough momentum to get his nose around the front by the end of the straight into Redgate. Back with Tom Butler, who's been caught now by the 46 of Ryan Firth. So Firth goes up into second place in class, and watch for the lighter blue car in the distance. The class leader, Sam Kirkpatrick, the Cumbrian, on potentially here for his first class win in the MG Trophy. What a great turnaround from the write-off that we saw on his debut at Silverstone. Inadvertently, wasn't his fault, and is a newcomer in racing. Number 17 car, Phil Tomlinson, dicing with Joe Dalgarno. This is again the wonderful thing about MG Trophy racing. If you're a newcomer and you elect to come into 170s, you could dice with the 160s, and also if you came into the 190s. But there's so much great interclass racing that happens here, and Dalgarno otherwise might have had a lonely race. You might just have seen Tyler Ballard away in the distance as Andy Firth comes under pressure from Samuel Johnston. Middlesex racer Johnston goes down the inside line, passing a plenty here in round 8 of this year's championship. 12 round championship in the offing this year, so incredibly already approaching the last couple of events of the season. Firth has a good run out of the chicane along the Tom Wheatcroft straight, but he's faced with the outside line, and only for the Brave to make the pass on the outside at Redgate. He might have had enough momentum to have got through on that outside line. In car with Adam Jackson once again. Jackson coming down. This is one of the finest sights in British motor racing, the Craner curves. Jackson in the 79 car. Well, Firth did get the manoeuvre sorted out. Andy Firth, Derbyshire-based driver. Not too far for him to travel this weekend. Samuel Johnston right behind him. 2 retirements so far for Samuel Johnston this year. Andy Firth has had 2 retirements as well, and 2 finishes, but great to see him running well in this race. Andy holding sway at the moment, just ahead of Samuel Johnston, side by side Richard Marsh and Adam Jackson. These guys in that battle for 6th position in class, and Jackson, the man behind at the moment, had a retirement in the first race of the weekend. So Marsh will try and stick ahead of the 79 car as they exit Roberts and go across the line once again, heading towards 2/3 distance in this 20-minute race. Adam Jackson, great onboard shot once again, and in car now with Patrick Booth, just running outside the top 10, dicing here with Mike Harris in the 37. We see quite a bit of these boys over the course of the season. And Booth looking at the inside line. Is he going to be able to hold on to this? Or more importantly, is the driver on the outside, Mike Harris, going to be able to brave it out around Redgate? This is good racing between the pair of them. He did brave it out, and that's gifted him the inside line on the first part of the Craners. Super racing by Mike Harris, looking for a 3rd top 10 in class finish of the year. And with driving like that, it's probably not going to be far away. The 37 driver just outside the top 10 at the moment. Patrick Booth fighting back though. Outside line here at Schwantz. Into McLean's. Inside line, he's got the position back. Wonderful piece of MG Trophy motor racing from those two. Booth and Harris really enjoying their race, but the race leaders on the last lap. Graham Ross it is that leads. There's Jason Burgess in 2nd position. Behind him, the blue of 99, Doug Cole. Doug on for a 4th podium of the year. Hasn't had a race win thus far this season, which is very unusual indeed. And Jason Burgess continuing on his way. Graham Ross is a good few seconds ahead at the moment, with Jason in 2nd place, Doug Cole in 3rd. Will Payne's 4th, former champion. Then Robin Walker, Andy Spencer, Sam Kirkpatrick still leading the 170 class, Class B. Through our last 2 podium men, a brief flash of Graham Ross going through the picture in the 92 car, the man from Crieff, 51 years of age. What a great set of results he's had this year. Has not been off the podium, and he continues that once again. There he goes, down Exhibition Straight, heading towards Roberts for the last time. Jason Burgess is going to take second place with Doug Cole in third. Cole could start to reel in Andy Spencer in the championship points. He comes out of that last corner, but it's a checkered flag and another win for Graham Ross. Jason Burgess takes P2. Doug Cole was fairly close behind in third place. Will Payne will come across the line in fourth there in the number 7 car. So Will Payne takes fourth position. Not quite a podium for him, which was his best result earlier on in the season. Here comes Sam Kirkpatrick's going to take his first win in the 170 class. What a bounce back from the start of the season he has had. He takes it. Sam Kirkpatrick wins it. Second position in class will go to Ryan Firth, you saw there in white, from Tom Butler in third. Jack Roberts finishes in fourth place, and a win in Class C once again for Tyler Ballard, who takes it from Joseph Delgado and John Booth. Here's the result: Ross, Burgess and Cole. Will Payne next from Robin Walker and Andy Spencer. Sam Kirkpatrick ahead of Ryan Firth and Tom Butler. Jack Roberts is in 10th place. 11th goes to Ollie Hood in the red 63. Gianni Piccioni next, Richard Marsh, Andy Firth, Adam Jackson, Samuel Johnston. Then Patrick Booth, Mike Harris, Matt Turnbull and David Stubbs 20th. 21st, the top Class C runner, 160 winner, Tyler Ballard from Phil Tomlinson. Joseph Delgado second in class from John Booth, David Heisman and John Gill. Fastest lap of the race, Graham Ross. Race winners coming into victory lane, and they'll be greeted by Barry.
Graham, fantastic end of the weekend. 2 out of 2 there on the podiums.
Yeah, I mean, I can't go for any better than that. Really chuffed. I said to the commentator from Donington there, at the moment, I was going to say lady luck, but I think that's sexist, so it's transgender neutral luck is on my side at the moment. But it could all go horribly wrong, but I'll take the going when the going is good.
Jason, another fantastic race. Busy first couple of laps there, and then he managed to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, it was good. I had a good start and thought I could squeeze him and get in front, but never managed to pull it off. I was in front of him going into first corner, but on the wrong line. And then, I was right behind him. We had a couple of laps where we were completely side by side, scrapping into first corner. But of course, his momentum was shoving him wide and didn't leave me room to keep the power on. So I had to slip back in behind. But no, it was clean racing.
Doug, second race of the weekend there, another podium for you. Good race. Jason made a little bit of an error part way through there, and I thought you were just catching him.
Yeah, I was sort of trying to keep it clean, but the front tyre was going very, very quickly. About lap 4 or 5, I lost grip at Coppice, which is where you really need it here. And I thought I'd just take for third. I was safe away from the young lad behind me, William. But then I just sort of started catching him, and either I was catching him or he was coming back to me. I'm not sure which one. And then he had a massive moment with one of the back markers onto the chicane, and I was right on his tail and thought, I got this, and then I stuffed it up at the old hairpin and lost the grip a bit. But then every time onto the back straight, he'd get a car length because I just had no grip at the front left. So after about 2 laps in the end, I thought I'm just going to give this a go because I'm going to throw it off otherwise. And third podium's good enough. Third place, I'm not in the championship hunt, so I'm just out here to enjoy myself. A bit disappointing because I do like it around Donington, but still like it around Donington and rock on Norton Park.
Sam, congratulations. A brilliant race win there and your first race win.
Yeah, it was a good race. It got off to a good start, and then Paul did a good start as always and ended up behind me, but yeah, he lost it up at the top of the hill, so that gave me a good gap to the ones behind.
Now, first season doing this, I remember when we met you back at Silverstone, which was probably your worst meeting with that big crash that happened there. I'm glad you got back into the car, got it all rebuilt again, and it's just shown with a bit of perseverance there, you've got that top end slot.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to the team because after quali I blew up the engine and the gearbox, so and my mechanic Lance as well for getting the car ready, and the team have been really good at getting the car ready for me.
Tyler, what can I say? That strategy worked well. Another class win.
Yeah, really happy with it. Got a good, really good start. Managed to get past a few 170s and just keep my head down and keep the lap times consistent again and come home with a victory. So really happy. Some good championship points for us.
Graham Ross takes over the overall lead of the championship. Paul Luty still leads Class B. Jason Burgess third overall from Ryan Firth and Matt Turnbull. Then Andy Spencer and Tom Butler. Ollie Hood, Doug Cole and Patrick Booth completing the top 10. Thanks for watching today. Please join us again for our next round at Alton Park.